What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the studio. Welcome back to the channel. So, this game right here, Poppy Playtime, is a game that I have been interested in and just been very intrigued about for the past year now. Now, I'm kind of late to the game when it comes down to Poppy Playtime, but better late than never. So today we're going to talk about this lovely independent horror mascot game, and we're going to talk about the story, the characters, and why I highly suggest that you at least go give it a try. The first chapter is actually free on Steam, so it's only 30 minutes. Go give it a try. It's really, really good in my opinion. But today we're going to talk about story and all that kind of stuff. So before we get into that, like, comment, subscribe, share it to friends and family that love Poppy Playtime or any other stuff that I talk about on this channel.
You are about to see the most incredible doll ever invented. Her name is Poppy, and she is the first truly intelligent doll in the world. A little girl can talk to her. Poppy gives her answers. She is the first doll actually able to have a conversation with a child. Hard to believe? Just watch.
Poppy Playtime!
Poppy's as lovable as a real girl, and she talks like one, too.
Hi, my name is Poppy. I love you. Can you help me polish my shoes?
Why, of course, Poppy. Just like a real girl, Poppy always wants to look her best.
Perfect! Thank you.
Her hair is sturdy and won't come out when you brush it, and smells just like a poppy flower. Is there anything else you'd like to say, Poppy?
I'm a real girl, just like you.
What's the time?
Playtime!
And if you've ever wanted to see how all of the nation's favorite toys were created, Playtime Co. is now offering factory tours at just $2.99 a person. An entire hour in the most magical toy factory on Earth. What are you waiting for? Come visit the factory. We can't...
Now, before we go down this wacky, really disturbing road of what the Poppy Playtime story entails, we need to, I need to sum it up real quick just so y'all can get a good understanding of what's going on before we go talk about the characters and what the hell's been going on for the past couple chapters. So, Poppy Playtime is a survival horror game. It is set in 2005, and some of it is also flashbacks to like the videotapes that you get through the game is pretty much showing what happened back in the day. But a lot of the stuff that you're going to see throughout the game kind of takes place in 95, in the 80s, in the 70s, all the way back to the 1930s. And you play a retired co-worker who used to work at said factory. You get a letter in the mail saying like, hey, if you want to know what happened to your employees that disappeared, your fellow co-workers, come down to the factory and we'll tell you. And that right there should have been a red flag and said players ahead. Like, why would I want to return back to a place I used to work at 10 years ago? Like, that's a big fuck no in my book. Like, that's a big red flag. Like, ladies and gentlemen, that's a red flag. Like, why would you want to go back to a job that you used to work at? Like, there's a reason why you've left that job in the first place. Unless you've been retired and you ain't working no more, and it's just, hey, all the workers they used to work in the year 95 is coming back. What's the point of going back? You know what I'm saying? But there's more to it just than meets the eye, to be honest with you. So you return and you get attacked by all these freaky monsters, as you can see throughout this video. You're going to see a bunch of freaky ass monsters. Now, I got to give a disclaimer because we are going to be spoiling a lot of stuff. So if you don't want to be spoiled, I highly suggest you click off. And also, if you're not a big fan of, media or movies or TV shows or games where they harm children, this might be a chance for you to click off as well too, because that's pretty much what the basis of this game is. A lot of children have been harmed in this game, and that's the part where it's kind of unsettling in a way. So if you're not a fan of that, by all means, I'm not mad at you. You can click off. I'll catch you in the next video. So if you're still here after the next transition, thank you. So let's get into the character, shall we?
Playtime Co. is the product of a great man by the name of Elliot Ludwig. Divorced, but a family man at heart. His sights were always set on bringing amazing toys to amazing children around the globe. Ludwig spent countless hours in the factory, working overtime relentlessly in an attempt to continuously innovate and surprise. In the 1960s, an unfortunate family death had pushed Ludwig down to his lowest. But with so much ambition, he rose back up and continued to fulfill his vision for the Playtime Co. toy factory. Ludwig could never be content leaving a project unfinished. But just how did one man come to create such an astounding empire? How did he manage to stay determined even after suffering such a tragic loss? It all began in the fateful year of 19...
Now, if we start anywhere and we talk about anybody first, we need to talk about the man that started it all, and that is Elliot Ludwig. Now, Elliot Ludwig is the chairman, founder, and CEO and overseer of Playtime Co. He is the reason why we got Poppy. He's the reason why we got a lot of these toys. He ended up passing away in the 90s. They didn't say what exact year he passed away, but he did pass away in the 90s, and he is the father of Poppy. We just learned that recently in chapter 4, but a lot of people have theorized that for a while now. So if you thought that he is a father of Poppy, you're right on the money. Pat yourself on the back. Now, Elliot Ludwig probably didn't think that a lot of this stuff that's going down was going to be the outcome of his research. I believe that he had good intentions as of right now. Like I said, the game is not officially over. They still got chapter 5. But from up to chapter 4 and at the end of chapter 4, I believe that Elliot Ludwig didn't want this to be the way it is when it comes down to Poppy and all his creations and stuff. I don't think he meant it to be taken this far to where like former protege ends up getting turned into his conscience put into the computer. He didn't expect, orphans to end up disappearing and ended up turning into toys. He didn't expect any of that to happen. But when you have other people working with you, figureheads that think that they know better than you, or what's best for business, as some people might say in real life, I feel like that's what happened. Now, in my humble opinion, and my theory is, I feel like Elliot Ludwig was killed. He was killed by a certain character that we might talk about in another video, because we have a lot of characters to go over, and this might have to be split up into multiple videos, most likely. But Elliot Ludwig, father of Poppy, and he's just the overarching character that you'll hear about throughout the game, but you don't really get to see him in person. You'll see him through VHSs. You probably might get to see some notes that were left around that he wrote and all that kind of stuff. But I will say that he is the reason why a lot of this stuff has started off, because he was working on an experiment that was a lab rat, and he was trying to bring it back to life by submerging it in some type of liquid and poppy flowers and electrifying it, and it worked. So a lot of people, and myself included, are under the impression that he was trying to bring his daughter back, or at least trying to, crack the code of bringing people back to life in a way. So in a way, he kind of did spearhead a lot of the messed up stuff that's going on in the company, but I don't think he meant for it to go as far as it is now. But like I said, chapter 5 hasn't came out yet, so we might get a lot of lore. Matter of fact, I'm guaranteeing that we're going to get a lot of lore when it comes down to his character and Poppy and a prototype. Now we got to get on the topic of his daughter. Now his daughter, on the other hand, we don't know how she passed away. We don't know what kind of accident it was. We do know that he is divorced from his wife, and I don't know if his wife is still alive, but we do know that that is his daughter, and that was the very first successful toy that Playtime Co. has successfully made. So you would think that, she should be the mascot, but in a way, Huggy Wuggy is the mascot of the game, even though the game's named after her. Now, she helps you through majority of the chapters. You don't meet her until the end of chapter 1, early chapter 2, and she's helping you through puzzles. You might hear some VHS tapes with her on there talking and all that kind of stuff. Now, her and another character that I'll talk about in the next video, they are tied to each other. As of the end of chapter 4, her and another prototype are actually tied to each other in some way, shape, or form. They didn't really explain why the prototype needs Poppy, why Poppy is even a thing in the first place. Well, besides Elliot Ludwig trying to, revive his daughter and all that kind of stuff. But there's some things that she does throughout the game that has you questioning, is she a good guy or is she a bad guy? Is she on our side? Is she, has her own ulterior motives? Like, there's certain things in said game that have you thinking like, okay, you kind of off the deep end, fam. Like, for example, when you finish chapter 2 and you're about to get on the train to head on to chapter 3, there's she kind of goes demonic a little bit. Like, she sounds kind of not herself in a way.
So scared she'd put me back in that case. But you saved me. You're perfect. Too perfect to lose. I'm sorry. I can't let you leave. I've never met anyone like you. Do you know how long I've been stuck in that case? Well, too long. I had so much time to think and reflect. Time to figure out exactly what I would do when free. We'll set things right. Terrible things have happened. But I know that whatever I need you to do, you're capable. We will. What if...
Now her tone just screamed untrustworthy. Just very untrustworthy. And just before you even let her out of her case, just screams, maybe we shouldn't let her out. Maybe we should leave her in there. There's a good reason why she's in that case for a reason. We just don't know it. But the way she went about telling us, hey, I need your help, instead of asking, like, hey, can I get your help with the rest of these creatures? Instead, she waits until we're getting ready to get the hell up out of here and decides, oh, you're too good to let go. So we're gonna, stop you from leaving the factory, and we're gonna guide you deeper into the factory so you can kill off the rest of the toys and all that kind of stuff. So that, to me, that comes off as antagonist, because we're trying to get up out of there and you're trying to keep us here. So, and on top of that, listen to the voice. Her voice changes, well, in a way, and it's very untrustworthy. So, and to me, she's on the antagonist side. I just don't trust nothing she says. Everything she does just comes all shady. And on top of that, too, I mean, like, she don't even come up to our kneecaps. So I'm like, dude, just kick her and just run. Like, goddamn. But the story gets deeper and deeper as the game goes on. Because trust me, she plays a huge, major. She's like a MacGuffin in a way. Everybody wants Poppy, and everybody wants to bring harm to Poppy. Especially, I think the overarching villain, the Prototype. I think he wants to pull a cell and merge with her or something. I don't know. That's my theory right there. But Poppy cannot be trusted in no way, shape, or form. Last but not least, to close out this video, is the actual protagonist. At first, this was going to be Huggy Wuggy spot, but I'm saving that for the next video. But I want to talk about the protagonist because they actually do play a huge part in this game as well. Well, of course, they play a huge part in this game. You're controlling the character, you're going through the puzzles, you're the one being chased. So, of course, they're going to play a huge part. But they actually play a huge part before the game even starts. So, in chapter 2, Mommy Longlegs says, oh, it's you. Like, oh, you must know who we are. And I think that's the first time they announce that, or they tell us that our character has something to do with this factory. Like, oh, you done came back. And in chapter 3, they say the same thing too. I think one of the teachers in the playtime area says that, oh, you came back. Yeah, you came back. So they make references to your character, but they don't really say a lot. So I'm throwing this out there. I've seen a lot of people's theories, and a lot of theories I think are way better than mine. But I'm under the impression that our main character had a lot to do with these experiments. Matter of fact, I think he had a lot to do with, I wouldn't say Poppy, but the other bigger body initiative characters like Mommy Longlegs. I don't think Huggy Wuggy, because Huggy Wuggy can't talk. Catnap, on the other hand, though, it seems like he knows us too, but we're not gonna get into all that because that's gonna be saved for the next video. But I feel like the protagonist isn't really a protagonist. I also think they're also an antagonist as well. So long story short, I think that they called upon this character because they knew that one character got away, the one that got away. And they were all like, huh, he's still alive. Let's send him a letter. Let's bring him back out this way. Because how do they know that this character was still alive? How do they know where the character lived? Like, a lot of that has not been answered. But like I said, game's not over yet. Chapter 5 hasn't been released yet, so they might answer that as well. We probably might get the lore for him or her. We don't know what gender they are. Poppy for sure, the prototype, which we're going to talk about in the next video, and what role our protagonist played in said game before, in said factory before 2005, or before the Hour of Joy, which we'll talk about maybe in the next video. I don't know. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is all I got for y'all today. I just wanted to talk about those main 3 characters because they are big, huge characters. And I know I'm leaving out some characters, but I wanted to save that for the next video because those videos, it's going to be covering like the antagonists, like the people that are trying to kill you and Poppy at the same time. And there's one character that actually does, well, 2 characters that actually helps you out throughout the game. And those will also probably be put in the next video or the video after that. But these 3 characters, like I said, major characters. I might have missed some stuff. If I did, it's probably going to be in the next video. I'm probably going to add it because I was kind of vague with a lot of things, but only because a lot of the stuff I was vague about has something to do with the other characters that I want to talk about. But other than that, the game is fun. Honestly, I honestly enjoy this game. Like, the lore behind it for sure. It has its moments where it's buggy and glitchy, but I'm like, most games nowadays come out like that too as well. But that's all I got for y'all today, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I've been wanting to talk about Poppy Playtime for a good minute, and it's gonna be other games I'll be talking about as well on the channel as well. So other than that, guys, please take care of yourselves and take care of your loved ones. But other than that, I love y'all. Peace.